Have you ever felt overwhelmed with all of the responsibilities and commitments you have on your plate? Between school, work, and family responsibilities, things can start to add up. How you handle those responsibilities can impact how successful you are in school. Today, we're going to talk about how to take control of your time so that you can be successful as a student. My name is Hannah Van Orsme, and I am an academic success coach here at Southwestern College Professional Studies. As a student, I sometimes found it difficult to focus on my coursework while managing work and family commitments. Using the tools in this presentation, I was able to dedicate specific times to studying, which helped me be successful in my courses. But first off, why is time management so important? Several studies have been done about the effectiveness of time management. What they found is that when students perceive they control their time, they are more likely to report positive feelings about their performance, increased satisfaction with work, and less tension and anxiety. Meaning, if students can take control of their time, they can better manage stress and anxiety and feel better about how they are performing. Additional research found that students who make short-term goals and feel they use their time constructively and are in charge of their time actually predicted grade point average. With this research that has been done, it's plausible that if students use time management strategies and feel that they control their time, they can actually do better in their classes. So we know that time management can affect student grades and how well students are performing. But where do we start? How do you even manage your time? Well, today we're going to focus on two main aspects of time: obligated time and free time. And then we're going to reflect on how we use our time and if any changes need to be made. We're going to identify both of these aspects by using this time management worksheet, and then reflect on how we are using our time and whether or not it's effective. Before we get started, feel free to visit the website below and download a blank version of this worksheet. As you can see, this worksheet starts with 7 a.m. and ends at 11 p.m. If those aren't the hours that you're actually awake and active during your day, make the necessary time changes. You can always insert extra rows or change the times in that left-hand column. To start off, let's identify your obligated time. Obligated time consists of responsibilities you have with little or no flexibility. This can include work, sleep, eating, commuting time, any of those times that you really have set during your week. It can also include when you're getting ready for work or school, and make sure you include that time. What other regular appointments do you have? Do you have church on Sundays? Do your kids have extracurricular activities that you go to? Are you maybe part of a sports league, or maybe you're coaching and you have things going on during weeknights? Make sure you include the obligated time that you're using. We have an example here of obligated time. This student is works full-time and also goes to school. They also, have some church commitments on Sundays and Wednesdays. Their daughter does dance and their son is in soccer, so they have those commitments on Saturdays that they are planning to go to every single week. They also want to put out some specific time for dinner with their family. And they include that on the weeknights. Maybe on weekends they kind of do their own thing, or that is a little bit more flexible, so they didn't include that on here. But if you have a specific time that you're going to be spending eating, make sure you're including that on this worksheet. Also include when you're going to bed. If that's not at 10 p.m., if it's later, insert those extra rows that you need. If you wake up earlier, insert those extra rows there too. This person also didn't include a specific time for lunch during the week. They knew that they would eat while they were at work, whether that be at their desk or actually getting a chance to take a break and go out to eat. But they didn't have a specific time that they're doing that every day, so they didn't include that. They just said, you know what, I'm going to do that while I'm at work. They also don't have a specific time for breakfast. If you take time and have breakfast at home in the morning, make sure you're including that in there too. This person was, going to do that while they're getting ready for work, or, have a snack right when they get to work, but they weren't going to put out specific time for their eating. This person decided that, they pretty much had hourly increments for everything. If you have like a half-hour increment, make sure you kind of shade that into, this is going until 8:30 or 9:30, wherever, make sure you're making it as accurate as it needs to be for you. So now that we've identified our obligated time, let's look at our kind of more flexible time. And your flexible time is when you're going to schedule some specific time to spend with family and friends, enjoying your hobbies, and exercising or other activities that you do. These obligations might change a little bit from week to week, but are generally held around the same time so that you can put them on your schedule there. And this is a little bit sometimes students consider it a little bit more of the fun time. While studying is important, you also want to have some of these times in there where you can relieve stress so that you don't get burnt out with, all of the work and other obligations and commitments that you have. So in this, what time of the week do you work out? Do you participate in any crafting activities? Maybe you have a night that you get together with friends and you want to include that on there because that's a good stress reliever for you. Maybe your family has a movie night on Saturdays and you order pizza and rent a movie or occasionally go to the movies with your whole clan. Make sure you're scheduling those times on there as well. Also in this time, you want to make sure that you're including when you're cleaning your house, other chores that you have, maybe mowing the lawn or doing yard work. What times are you doing that during the week or maybe on the weekends that you need to make sure that's included? Back to our example. This individual decided, you know what, I really only have time to work out on the weekends. So they have a workout on Sunday and Saturday. They also included some time for, cleaning the house, doing yard work, doing those types of chores. If you have those at different times of the week and you're going to do some of those one weeknight, make sure you include that on there too. They also decided, you know what, I really need a movie and a dinner out with family, or even maybe sometimes by themselves on the weekend. So they cut out a big chunk of time where they are going to take some time for themselves to just de-stress. So now that we've identified both of our obligated time and some more flexible time, let's reflect on how you're actually using your time. Is there any time that you labeled as used on the worksheet that might be taking away from your goal? Maybe some of that flexible time, maybe you include a little bit too much of that. Do you need to cut back on some of that? Are there other obligations that maybe someone else could help you out with? That way you have some more time. Did you maybe include some time on social media or watching TV that you could better redistribute to use your time better and actually have some added value to your time? While you're thinking about this, if you've kind of found that maybe there's some time that you're not using to its full potential and you want to shift things around, go ahead and do that now. Now that you have redistributed any time that needed to be redistributed, let's find some time for studying. A general rule of thumb is that you should allow 15 to 20 hours a week for each class that you take in a 6-week time period. When selecting your study time, you want to include both small and large study periods. Don't try to do it all in one day, like on a Saturday. Make sure you're spreading your study times out throughout the week. If you have the ability to have a course syllabus, this might be a great time to use that and look at when things are actually due. And then you can schedule your study time around that, studying, a couple days in ahead from when your assignment is actually due. This way, you're not rushing things to complete an assignment at the last minute. You're giving yourself some time to prepare things ahead of time. So this student was like, you know what? I have a discussion post due on Wednesday. I'm going to start working on that on Monday night, so I'm going to get some study time on Mondays and Tuesdays so I can really prepare a good discussion post for when it's due. And then they're going to use their Thursday and Friday to really respond to other students when they need to. As you can see with this student's worksheet, they have study time on Saturday for 3 hours straight, but that is the longest straight time that they are taking to study. The student did a really good job at breaking up their study time, giving themselves kind of some smaller increments so that they know during this time, I'm really going to focus on this. I'm not going to have any distractions. I'm not going to be getting on Facebook. I'm not going to be using my phone. This is the time that I'm going to use to study. Another important thing to notice on this is that there's white space in here. So like on Sunday, you can see that the student's going to study from 4 to 6, then they're going to take an hour break, and then they're going to study from 7 to 9. This white space is really important, and we like to call it wiggle room. This helps you with anything that may come up during the week. Things always tend to happen, so make sure you have some wiggle room. So if you do need to adjust things one week, you can. You want to keep this schedule so that you can pretty much follow it every week, but things do happen in life. So where can you move things around to if you need to be better prepared to meet all of your goals with the study time that you need? Let's review. Did you find any time that you didn't think you had? A lot of the times when we're going over our time that we're using, we realize, wow, I'm kind of wasting some time doing this stuff. You know what? I could use that better studying, or spending more quality time with my family. Things like that, when you really look at your time, you tend to find some things you didn't realize. Maybe you're wasting time with social media and you need to, spend that time more valuably. Is your schedule reasonable? Is there something you can see yourself sticking to long term? If not, what do you need to change? What else needs to be reevaluated about your time? Maybe you have too many demands. Is there someone else in your family that can help you reevaluate your obligations? Maybe take some of those off your plate. Maybe your spouse or someone else, a friend, can help you cook dinner a few nights a week. Or maybe you decide, I really need this extra time on this night. I'm just going to pick up McDonald's on my way home for dinner because I really just need this. Maybe there's someone at your kid's school that can help you carpool a couple days a week. They can pick up your kids one day so that you have extra time studying that day and you can return the favor another. What resources do you have that can help you redistribute your time? Now that you've kind of reviewed your schedule and feel that you're in a good place, set your schedule and stick to it. Things always come up, but that's why you provided that extra wiggle room for yourself so that you can kind of reschedule things if you need to. If you have concerns about your time and you really just feel like you have way too many demands, please contact your academic success coach. They can kind of help you evaluate your situation and see whether or not there might be some resources you have that you don't know that you have, or if you need to maybe cut back on some classes. And they might have some other suggestions on strategies to better use your time. As always, please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram for blog posts and webinars like this. And look for our blog post on study tips for things that can help you be successful in an online learning environment.